Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for another card making video, and this one is for our Project Share Project blog hop that we do on the first Saturday of every month. So this is June's edition. So in the description of this video you'll see a link to my blog and you'll find links to all the other ladies. So we've got Jill, Jez and Heather all participating. You know, we always share a project on a Thursday and then we do this once a month. Okie dokie, so our theme this time is geometric. Okay, so obviously your mind sort of goes to the regular sort of circles and squares and things like that. I did and ah about using hexagons with one of the other sets. However, I decided I was going to do something a little different and create this funky background with a new set of punches. Okay, so they are called inked and tiled punches, and they are a set of two that come together like that. Okay, so one's cuts out like this sort of star shape, and then we've got the cross shape, and they nestle together and can form patterns and things, which is what I've done today. So those are available as a bundle with another stamp set, the ink and tiled stamp set, but I didn't get that stamp set. But I am going to be using another new one called Textured Floral. This does have coordinating die, so there is a bundle price on that. So bundles, you save 10% on the combined price. So this is a really nice set. It's got all the shapes for the stamped images that you can see. We've got a useful splatter in the stamps as well, and then we've got these ones at the bottom here. These ones are just sort of really just nice foliage elements that we can add to our designs. Okie dokie, so those are the products we're using today, and as you can see I've used sort of the cross design and layered those up to make this sort of, I was going for like a trellis look. That's what I was actually going for. I don't think it quite looks like a trellis, but it still looks alright to me. So just to give you a little bit of a thing, so just to pull those in again, so we've got the two shapes there. Okay, try not to get the glare on them too much, but there you go. So those are the shapes you get, and was just sort of trying to get you a little bit of a measurement. They're almost exactly 3 centimeters across, that one is. Okay, and it's like a really funny measurement in imperial. It's 1 and 3/16 is what it is. So it's a bit of a funny measurement, and it is square. Okay, so the 3 centimeters is obviously easier to work with, and then this one, sort of point to point, is 1 5/8 at its widest point, or just over 4 centimeters. So that one works out better in inches, and that one works out better in metric if you want to sort of try and work out something, piece of piece of backing card or whatever. So here we have the sort of the cross shapes like that, which, as you can see, we are going to just put them together like this to form their little squares onto a backing sheet like that. We do have these shapes as well. Okay, and if I show you this one, this was just something I was playing about with. If you lie these together, you end up with the cross shape in the middle, so you can use them all together to make a whole big tessellating background, or you can put them together like this. Can you see that? Sorry, it's all white on white because I was just messing about with some scrap card. So those fit together. We can do that. Okay, so loads of different ways that we can use this. they join together like that as well to make sort of a strip. So there's loads of different ways we can mess about with these. Okay, so we're going to stick with our little crosses here. I've got some punched out already. How many have I got? I've got 9 punched out, and I'm going to need 12. Okay, I just wanted to save a bit of time, and so that was how I ended up with this. So I cut this 9 by 9 centimetres because I knew that that would work out, you see. So I need 3 more of them. So again, I'm just sort of using up some scraps of card just to get all these extra pieces cut out. Using some scraps from the scrap box. So I've got 12 of those punched out. I'm just going to pop those out of the way over there. And then I've cut this piece of white cardstock, which is 9 by 12. And we're going to layer these on using some wet glue. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in a little silicone sheet there just to help me with picking some of these things up. So I'm just going to pop some on to the back of these. Don't need lots and lots. Okay, and like I say, they do sort of form this little sort of cross shape. That's within a sort of a square. It is a square outline, if you like. So I'm going to pop that into that corner and then work down here, putting that cardstock up against the previous shape and lining it up with the edge. Okay, now the measurement I had isn't an exact science. So you'll see that there is just a little bit of an overhang on there. That's okay, we can fix that after. So we're going to keep building this up. Piece by piece. Which doesn't take very long at all to do. So again, this one's just going to butt right up against that one and lining it up against that top edge there, and we'll keep going. So these ones are quite nice because they then you've kind of got 2 edges to pop them against. It's up on the right hand side, and then we'll pop this one in. Okay, nice and flush, and then we'll just carry on doing that across the card. Now we've got our panel all layered. We've just got the that little edge there just needs to be just cut off. Now I'm going to use this little mini guillotine because I think that's going to give me, and it's going to give me a nice sharp cut. So I'm going to line up the edge of that cardstock right on the edge of the sort of metal cutting blade there, and just take off that little edge there. Do the same on the bottom. Okay, and that's just neatened up the edge of that really nicely. So I just thought it would be easier with that little mini guillotine. We don't stock that anymore, unfortunately. So if you've got your own paper trimmer, just be real careful make sure you've lined it up really nicely with the cutting track. Okay, so that's our panel, and we're going to do a little bit of inking over the top. So we're going to bring in some paper on the back. So this is just some grid paper. This happens to be the mini grid paper, but we don't stock this anymore, but I'm using mine up because I love it. So I'm going to use a blending brush to add our ink to this. So this first colour that we're going to use is Pecan Pie. This is one of the newer colours that launched with the new catalogue, and this is just really taking off the starkness of the white cardstock. Just wanted something a little softer across that middle portion because we're going to build up colour around the edge. So it's Pecan Pie, it's one of the core colours. Running out of flat surfaces to put things. We're then going to come in with Copper Clay. This is a new in colour. It's a much more red brown than Pecan Pie. It's quite a strong colour. I'm taking off a lot of ink there, and I'm just going to bring that in across this corner. Just happens to be this one because that's where I'm left-handed, so that kind of is where it naturally sort of falls. Then I'm going to do it the same across this one. So we're still seeing that Pecan Pie coming through in the middle and in portions around the edge as well. And then we're going to return to an old favourite, Early Espresso. Okay, don't actually use a lot of Early Espresso. It's a good colour for, it's a good alternative to black for sentiments if you're going for something different. Okay, so this is just going to be around the edges really. So I've taken off a lot of that ink, and I'm just adding it to the edge with the smaller circles. Jessie's going to be so proud of me using all this brown ink. And these three colours I think work very nicely together. Okay. And I think that will do just nicely. I'm going to use Copper Clay again for the sentiment, so we'll just leave that where I'll remember where it is. Okay, oh, sorry about that. Oh, funky focus. I bet I didn't do that while I was ink blending. Anyway, there you go. So there's our ink blended background there. So I've already cut a piece of white, which is 1/2 centimetre bigger. So remember, I cut the background in metric, which isn't what I normally do. Okay, so just because it worked better with what we were doing. So I'm just going to layer that onto a piece of white. So that's going to be 9.5 centimetres by 12.5 centimetres. Okay, obviously if you want to work it, you know, stick to your imperial measurements, then obviously do so. I just wanted to make my life a little bit easier. Okay, so that's our panel there. Now on my sample, which I've put down and I can't actually see right now, there it is right in front of me. I've used vanilla for the card base. Again, that's not something I normally use. I'm not super in love with it. So I've actually brought out crumb cake to mute it all all down again. Alright, so I'm going to go with that, and again we're going to stick this down flat. Just going to use my seal for that. Because it's quick and easy. I'm going to pop that in. So the borders aren't even, top, bottom and left and right, but I can live with that. Oh, something's ended up on there. And it would be up there where it's not going to get covered up. Oh well. Don't know what's happened to that. I've picked up a blob of something. Okay, so that's our base. So now we can get some stamping done. Just going to bring in some white cardstock to stamp our florals and our sentiments and things. This one uses Berry Burst, Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Okay, and then copper clay for the sentiment. So we're going to stick with copper clay for the sentiment, just to bring through the that more reddish brown, the warmer brown. Okay, but we're going to change the colours of our accessories. We're going to use Shaded Spruce, Lemon Lime Twist and Lemon Lolly. Oh, they're off screen, sorry. Okay, Shaded Spruce, Lemon Lime Twist and Lemon Lolly. Okay, so these leaves here, which are quite a nice size to fill out our background. This is a distinctive stamp. Now you will find that you'll get better results with a drier ink pad with distinctive ink. If you find you're not getting the a nice image, then try applying the ink with a dauber or a blending brush. That can do the trick. These little flowers are like a two-step stamping element, so on this occasion I'm actually going to do the stems first and then go over the top with the flowers. Sort of depends which colours you're going for as to which way round you do this, in my personal opinion, because you want to be able to see through, if you like, if that makes any sense whatsoever. You want to be able to hover and actually see what you're lining it up with, and sometimes, depending on the combination you've chosen, it's easier to do your lighter over the top. Now I can't remember how it lined up. It's like that. Okay, so just take your time to hover over the top and get that in position. And you know what? If it isn't quite right, it's not going to matter too much. That's not too bad. So it might be something that you want to practice doing, and making sure you've got the orientation of the image right before you commit to your project. And to be honest, this is probably looking harder than it is, simply because you're there and I can't get quite over the top of it like I'd like, like I would do normally. So that's probably why it looked like I was taking quite a long time over that. And then finally I'm just going to bring back the copper clay, and I'm going to stamp that too. Don't know whether I've got enough room there. Might do. We'll give it a go. See if we end up with enough room. The sentiment, I'm actually going to use the 1 3/4 inch punch. This is, or at least it was, available as an online exclusive. So can't tell you hand on heart whether that is in stock or not right now, but it fits around there quite nicely. Alternatively, you could use, well, any number of things to be honest with you, but I wanted to go with a circle because of that geometric sort of theme as well. The name will come to me in a moment. Stylish Shapes, the ones with the stitched circles in. So we're going to bring in these dies now that coordinate with this stamp set, textured floral. Okay, this really, this one, you want to be lining it up with the flowers, then hopefully your stems are kind of in place, but it ain't going to matter too much if they're not quite there. But I would say line it up with your blooms, and then the rest will figure itself out. So I'm just going to run that through the die cutting machine, and I'll be back in a minute. There's those and those. So they all die cut beautifully. Okay. And then got some that I've already done. And I want 3 sets of the leaves, 2 sets of blooms. Okay. And then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals on the back of this sentiment. I've already popped some on the back of these, and we're just going to layer this up, and that will be pretty much it. Might have to find some bling to put on though. So we're going to pop that down somewhere around there maybe. Then I'm just going to use a bit of our multi-purpose glue there to add in these leaves. Then these ones are on dimensionals. So we can have one tucked in up here. Because that's on wet glue, we can twizzle that a little bit, make it stick out a bit more, make it more prominent. We can add this one. Like them breaking the borders, like so. Now, if we put some bling on, that might cover whatever happened to that. So let's just shifty my ink blocks and just have a look at what I've got embellishment wise. It might have to just be some plain rhinestones on this occasion, just to pop those in. I don't think we've got have we got champagne rhinestones anymore? I can't remember. Okay, so the regular rhinestones though, they come in the 3 sizes. And those of you who watch me regularly know I like to use my embellishments in little trios like this. And there we go, just pop that up there. We could colour those of course to match the project or whatever, but I think we'll just stick with that. Okay, and that's the finished card. Lemon Lolly, Lemon Lime Twist Shaded Spruce, And then we had copper clay, pecan pie and early espresso forming the background on there, the geometric background for the theme. And then this colourway, same set of browns, but the flowers are Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon and Berry Burst for this one. Okay, so we've got a different look depending on the colours you've used, and then I used a crumb cake base for this, whereas I had it very vanilla for this one. Okay, so just mixed it up a little bit, but the real focus for this was to try and make these wonderful geometric backgrounds featuring the inked and tiled punch pack. Okay, as I said at the beginning, this is part of, this supports my post in this month's Project Share Project blog hop. Please do check out the description and have a look at what the other ladies have made for their cards. Thanks ever so much for joining me with a longer video, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.